One last thing before we get started, nervous. Did you know that the Three Stooges started as a minstrel show?
No,
I believe it.
I did.
I totally believe
Yeah, like
it.
full
Were they
on,
all
like
they were
filmed?
on full on blackface.
Oh shit!
Jesus.
That's all. I just wanted to lighten the mood before we got started.
And there you have it. Welcome back. You're listening to another brand new episode of Video Ditch. Here with all three hosts. You got Sam, you got Nick, and Jake, and our beloved editor Zwick. Yet again, it was so nice. He came twice to the show and on the desk, and here we are. So thanks again,
And hopefully
Zwick.
the audio is working this time, so you can actually hear me.
Mhm. Yeah, if you didn't catch our last episode.
There were so many insights. We had to cut out at least an hour of insights between our previous guests and Zwick that are sadly strewn about on the cutting room floor. Maybe someday, if you ask really nice in person, I'll play them for you, but don't count on it. Lost media.
But yeah, Zwick's here once again, and we're going to be talking about just what we've been playing, just chatting about, how we've been playing games, the games of our lives lately.
It's true.
There were some publisher showcases within, the last time we spoke.
Yes, Bacon Connect.
Bacon Connect.
Bacon Strips Connect from Harley
Oh,
Morenstein.
I
wow.
already hate it. It just sounds Reddit. You just say
An
bacon,
aged
and I'm like,
bit.
oh, what Reddit this shit is this? Oh, the narwhal bacon. Let's go.
Taken back 10 years. That's crazy. That's like a 2014 energy.
Yeah, I'm a topical guy.
So before we get into it, how's everyone doing tonight? Jake, how are you doing since you missed our last episode?
Doing well. Doing better than I was last time I was on.
Yeah, awake this time.
I know,
In terms
both
of
eyes
Wakey
are
Jakey.
open.
Yeah. Mood. Taking some time off Friday through Tuesday. So that'll be nice.
Very
Looking forward
good.
to it.
Is it stormy up where you guys are, or is
It's raining.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah, rain. It's going to hit us next week, next Wednesday. Right when I get back, it'll be great.
That's a bummer. I thought you'd be lucky enough to be missing the worst of it.
Is the storm where you're at?
It's like pretty heavily raining, more so than usual. It's been raining the past few nights, and then today it was kind of like pretty in earnest. Yeah, heavy rain. It's kind of making me think about something.
Makes me think about narratives in gaming. Makes me think about choices.
And
I'm doing pretty
consequences.
good. I just saw my parents still alive after
Great.
last time. So
Yes.
that's good. Saw my dad down like 5-6 oysters. So, that's all going straight to the gallbladder for sure.
You should tell them to switch to Rocky Mountain oysters.
What's that? Is that a bull
That's a-
nutsack?
Mhm.
Right?
Buffalo testicles. It's actually
Yeah.
delicious. I recommend trying it. It is
Man,
good.
what the fuck?
The one time I did try it.
What's the texture like?
Sure, it's
Break it
good.
down for me.
It's a bit rubbery, but it's kind of like oysters.
I don't know, man. You're not selling this at all.
Yeah.
The
texture's
try
what
it,
gets
all
me,
right?
bro.
You like
Just try
a
it.
rubbery
Listen, man, just eat
oyster
the
taste
cum.
and testicle.
Look, I get it. I'm a blatant homosexual, and I'm
That's
like,
not
I
what
love
stops me.
No.
It's just
Oh, okay. Your homophobia doesn't stop you.
No.
It's the rubbery texture.
yes, all the way.
I would think that you would just swallow it whole, honestly, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean,
No. It's good. Try it.
Your inflection's going up when you say it's good. I don't believe you.
I remember when I went to the waiter and I saw it on the menu because I was like traveling across the country. I opened the menu and I look at the lady and I was like, "Is this?" She's like, "Yeah, it's buffalo
I
testicles."
know
I was
your
like,
eyes
"Yes, I'll take
bulge
two."
out of your head. You're like,
Yeah.
is this what I think it is?
dude, fucking mad respect. Mad respect for fucking going after
Yeah.
it.
Well,
Mhm.
try new things.
I know.
No, I love it.
I respect
Escargot
that.
might be the grossest thing I try.
I've
It's
had
not good.
escargot. That shit is fucking. Well, Zwick, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to railroad it.
No,
I'm
please.
doing good.
Yeah.
I've been editing pretty much. I've been taking a break from streaming, which I miss a lot, and I'm hoping to
Mhm.
get back to that soon. Make some more videos with my friends saying dumb stuff. I downloaded a bunch of demos, but
Mhm.
besides that, it's been relatively boring.
Mhm. I remembered a release that I wanted to discuss with you guys that got announced recently was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. It's
Oh,
Holy
that's what that
fuck,
is.
that,
Yeah.
that caught me off
It got
guard.
announced?
I'm a huge fucking
Yeah,
Tony
Yeah,
Hawk-
remake.
I'm a huge
Yeah.
Tony Hawk
Remake.
mark, so I was
Right.
Mhm.
shocked when that was coming out. I thought that was canceled.
So did I. I mean, it certainly it was reported as being canceled because they
Yeah.
thought it didn't sell well enough. But lo and behold, there's a trailer out. Pretty exciting stuff if you've grown up with those games, like it seems most of us have. The only controversy, I guess you could say, or any concern that I saw kind of surrounding it was that the structure of the fourth game was going to be altered a little bit. I don't know if any of you, what is that? Is there like a ringing sound? I'm sorry. Like kind of high pitch.
It might be me.
Is it coming from me?
I don't think. I don't
Let
know.
me mute myself and then unmute myself. Do you still hear it? Did you hear it when I muted? You still hear it?
I think you have tinnitus.
No, it's
I
not
don't-
tinnitus.
I have nice, but I don't hear any
But while
sound.
we're here, I gotta turn off the air, so I will be right
Oh,
back. Just
no
to turn off my
worries.
air conditioning.
Sorry, didn't mean to completely.
No, you're good.
Sidetrack.
I don't hear it though.
Was for the first one to break the
Hi,
mission
Whistling.
system thing?
Yeah, so normally it's like time attack.
Yeah,
You have 2
get the
minutes to do
videotapes.
all these objectives, right? 4 introduced kind of you're in the level, and then you go to like quest giver NPCs essentially.
Yeah, that's how it was for
Hold up,
Thug
save
On,
that.
pretty much.
Save that.
Yeah.
Save that combo because that'll be included probably, right?
Mhm.
This will
Yeah.
be cut.
Step closer to Underground though. An Underground
I was-
remake? Come on.
Yeah, that's
Come
my-
on.
Yeah, from what I remember, sorry.
I'm a real
Yeah.
underground head.
Yeah. But yeah, from what I remember, Tony Hawk 4 was pretty much Tony Hawk Underground 0
Yeah. So
before 1.
we were
I
just
love
talking about
Thug. I tried replaying Tony Hawk's Underground the other day. Fucking
it's the best.
horrible.
that. You think so?
Horrible game.
No way.
No,
You're
fuck
nuts.
you. I still play it.
are
I
I was
loved
just playing
it,
it literally last month.
I'll play that on the PS2
Really?
any day.
It's not that it's not
Yeah.
fun. It's just the mission progression
Oh.
system is so bad and so
Oh.
like all over the place. And like the way that you have to get to each mission, and that if you do anything without going to the quest giver first, it doesn't count. So you can't just like fuck around and have fun in the world. You have
just
to
do it
go
in the
to-
level. You
yeah.
have to. Yeah, I get you.
But, like
get
I
you.
was just fucking around. I was like doing all this fun shit. I was like doing spine transfers. I like freed Big Ben from his prison and all that stuff.
Mhm. I love
And
it.
none of it counted for anything. I just wasted 2 hours and I couldn't leave Boston.
What
Oh,
fell
you're
off
playing
for
the
me was,
second
like,
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Oh, you played Tony Hawk's Pro Skate or Thug 2.
Underground too.
Yeah.
Thug 2 sucks. Like the peak was Thug 1. Thug 2, it starts to go downhill.
Yeah.
And Thaw, Tony Hawk American Wasteland, it's just like a huge dip.
Yeah, I never played Thaw.
I played them all.
But Proving Grounds, I've heard, was really good. That's like the actual what.
Is that
Tony
the
Hawk's
one
That
Underground
was
where
an
you
should
odd
have
one.
been.
It was a
You have a
post-skate
real
response to
skateboard or
Tony
something?
Hawk. No, that's.
No.
I think that's Tony Hawk Ride.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently that one is the second Tony Hawk game with a good story. The first one being Thug or Tony Hawk Underground.
That's funny. I guess these games, right? Because thinking about them now, it's like it's so much nostalgia. I think if I really wanted to be more critical, I'd have to reappraise. I have revisited Underground in recent years just because it is kind of an all-time, favorite.
I mean, that's the nice thing
game.
about it, though. Like, I've been rewatching Jackass, still funny. Still amazingly funny.
So yeah,
Well,
timeless.
And I'll be rewatching, I'll point at the TV and be like, hey, we should do that. Joanna, come on. We should, maybe I could put my. Anyways.
We live on a balcony.
no,
Like,
you
think
gotta,
how
no, you
high
gotta
that
have your
is.
own kids watch it when they're too young to
Yeah.
watch it, so that way
Mm.
they're stapling their nuts to it too.
Yeah, you guys could
Right? That's
dive
the
head
next
first
generation.
off the
There
balcony
you
into
go,
the
yeah.
pile of leaves like Steve-O.
Like, look at this lost media from my dad's time. It's so fucking weird. Isn't that right, my robot friend? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hide from our robot overlords now, real quick. Very good. But getting back to it, the remake of 3 and 4. Yeah, aside from the changing of the structure, right, abandoning the kind of open level format, and then making it all kind of time attack based, right, a 2-minute timer for each run. Feels a little lazy to me. It's like, why not just adapt the structure of the original?
Oh yeah, after Thug, I was like, the timer sucks. Like I kind of always thought the timer sucked in general, but I kind of dealt with it.
Yeah.
So
very
like when I
arcadey.
started playing Thug, I was like, why have a timer? Just let me have fun.
Let me walk
Yeah.
around. Let me get into fights with people. Let me drink alcohol. Let me eat food. Let me get experience. Let me lock
Okay, well,
in.
not that far.
I'll just play Judgment. Just play
Yeah,
Yakuza
wait a
Judgment.
second. Yeah, sounds a lot like Lost Judgment. Gosh, but yeah, you guys have a lot of fond memories with Tony Hawk, it seems. And
Yeah.
so Thug is the peak, it seems. For
I liked it a lot more than
Oh,
actually
yeah.
skating.
Yeah, it's tough. Very cool. Very cool. That was one of the announcements I wanted to bring. Gosh, and then what else I wanted to bring was Lost Records Bloom Rage is the latest release from Don't Non Studios, the team behind Life is Strange. And I don't want to say like conflicted. No, is it conflicted feelings? I'm not quite sure. I don't know how
Do you like it?
I guess I am conflicted because I did like it, but there's also part of it that really
Was it too woke for you? Was that the problem? That way you didn't like it?
No. No. Right. And disclaimer, I've played like most of the Life is Strange games. I played other Don't Nod titles. So like
Yeah,
I
Jeff
know-
swears by the
I know what
first
I'm
one.
getting into.
First one's great.
I really did not
Yeah.
like the first one. Hilariously.
Really?
No,
Really?
did not jive
Wow.
with me. I had such high hopes for that first one.
Oh, I like
But that's kind of like right where I'm at with this one, where I'm like, okay, kind of 10, 12 years down the line, I think this is the first game where they kind of actually succeed in nailing what they're going for.
Like they're written like humans.
No.
Oh.
I wish. Grant, like maybe it'll be patched, right? So right off the bat, criticisms I have are like some of the facial animation is extremely stiff, right? Which has always been an issue, but you'd think by now, you know,
Their
they've
animation
had
style
engine iterations.
kind of weird, right? It's
Yeah, kind of
stiff.
Stiff is really just the way to describe it. And you know, my fear going into it, I think it's kind of like a Nick and Volcano High situation where it's like this is going to be super precious. You know, it's like clutching its pearls, you know, the whole time. And for context, right? It's set. Well, it's a dual kind of narrative. You have a narrative in the present, or like 2023. It's kind of, you know, early 2020s, and then the teenage narrative in 1995, right? And it's these four girls and the relationship they have over a summer, right? And this is part one. Part two is coming out in April, and it was free on the PlayStation Plus premium subscription. And I said, you know what? I need a break from slop because I've been playing some slop, and I have a surprise pick if we have time to talk about.
This is maybe even more important.
But sloppy. But this one, I enjoyed it because, so it's only two parts, right? You have this first part, and then the second part's going to come out in April. And I think it's really the perfect length for these kinds of games, right? Life is Strange 2 and the first one, they had like 5 episodes.
Yeah,
you like
Telltale
Life
style.
is Strange 2 more
I like
than the
Life
first
is Strange
one,
right?
It's a brother story, you know. I'm a sucker for sibling stories.
Yeah,
right.
I just
And
thought it wasn't paced very well, but yeah.
No, it had issues. I don't think it's like a perfect game, but I found
like,
Daniel much more relatable.
I shouldn't be one to judge your tastes in video games because I unironically love Backyard Wrestling, the ICP wrestling game for the PS2.
Wow.
Well, that's
a lot of backyard games.
That's different.
Dude. Backyard games hit. Those are good ass.
The second one
Alternative
wasn't as good, but the first one was so good.
I never played wrestling, but backyard baseball.
That's
backyard.
the beauty of
No. It's not like those kids' games. This is a game
men's
made
game.
with
I was like, when I was a kid, those fucking slaps, dude. Those
Insane Clown Posse was wrestling in it, and Twisted was wrestling in it. It's one of those.
Some Limp Bizkit kind of energy.
Yeah.
I wish it couldn't. It would have been too perfect.
He could have actually kicked Fred Durst instead of missing and embarrassing him.
Isn't Fred Durst a playable character in the Fight Club video game?
No, yes, he is.
He is.
Yes, he's playable in the Fight Club games, and he's playable in WWE SmackDown.
That's right.
Yes, and it's a crying shame that he's not available in more games. You are right on that.
Aspiring video essayists, there's a topic for you.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Fred Durst
the duology of Fred Durst's appearances in video games.
Durstiverse. What does it mean? What can we glean from these appearances? I hate that shit so much.
It's a 5-hour video essay.
A brief examination of Fred Durst's impact on the gaming culture of the 2000s. Stop.
But circling back to Lost Records, you have the narrative in 95 with the girls as teens, and then you're coming back to the town, right? You spent the summer in the small town together, and you're coming back like 25 years later. So they're all like much older coming back, and I think that was like one of the first kind of I wouldn't call it a red flag, but a point of criticism was how the character was behaving as an adult. She still felt like she was the same teenage character, and I was like, I just. Maybe it's just, a personal thing, but that was the first kind of instance of that. And it, those games in general, they have a lot of those moments that don't land for me. But I think the sum of its parts usually ends up being worthwhile to me in the end. The unique thing about this one is that your character Swan, she's really into like documenting things with her camcorder. So it's like adding Pokemon Snap or like a video recording element to each scene you're in, right? It adds objectives like, if you get 9 shots of, your background in your room, you'll unlock like this clip that she puts together that the game will edit like your footage together into a clip, and she'll commentate it. And like, it really draws you into like a relationship with the space, right? So so the first scene is her in her bedroom, and then it's like, I should get footage of my room. And so that you get to know the character, right? And you get to learn the mechanic, right? And you have a cat, and it's adorable. And it's good. It's a good cozy. I don't even want to say cozy necessarily, but it's just like a different sort of energy than the usual destructive stuff I'm engaging with in games. And I think that it makes the gameplay in this narrative game much more engaging, apart from like the usual walk to an interactable object, click it, hear a blurb, move on, right? Like I think, the other thing I got thinking about playing that is just this formula of narrative games over like, the past 10, 12 years. I feel like it's pretty stagnant. But I also think that Don't Nod is one of the studios that like is good at it, right? They can make a real good montage. I think they're one of those studios that like has that cinematic intuition with like music and editing and like extracting emotion through that. But the gameplay itself, I think, is just kind of has suffered. But with the camcorder aspect, I'm really into it. That brings a lot to the table, I think.
Yeah, it is weird to think that nothing has really changed since Indigo Prophecy. It's like someone just looked at an adventure game and they're like, what if we took out all the puzzles?
So yeah, it's like quick time events are no longer the norm. Thank fucking God. Right? Like,
were you hold on? Were you tricked into thinking that Indigo Prophecy was good?
No,
like I was.
No,
you recognize immediately
when it came out.
As soon as it becomes the Matrix.
Yeah,
I was hyper tricked into believing that was a good game when I first played it.
I mean, I played that game when I was like middle school age. That shit was funny as fuck, dude. Like the introduction to David Cage's like philosophy.
I was like,
insane.
fuck, I was stupid. Jeez. Why did I think this was smart?
I understand that. I've definitely drawn in as a kid, but I didn't think like this is good.
This is a new level.
Like, why am I playing Simon Says as a quick time event? This fucking blows.
Rain, on the other hand, that was
Heavy Rain.
That was something.
No, see, I recently saw some headlines talking about the legacy of Heavy Rain and how now that we have all this distance from it, it's kind of become a meme.
Very much, yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny to think about, like, when these things come out, they can seem so like
revolutionary,
prestigious, and serious, but then give it time and suddenly it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, even the first mission or whatever, the first chapter where you lose your son and he gets hit by a car and dies is hilarious in hindsight.
Sean!
Yeah, just screaming.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah. Pretty insane. You have a lot of.
But Don't Nod doesn't fall into these foibles. You're saying?
Oh.
Or they do.
They do and they don't. I think it's mostly good, right? And I think with the camcorder aspect, it makes the narrative experience really personal because you're literally looking back on your memories of playing the game, right? With the the conversation system is so it's exactly what you'd expect from one of these games.
Okay.
It's just dialogue progressing through a scene. She doesn't have supernatural powers, although there is a supernatural element. Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember. I was like trying to remember what I didn't jive with. These characters are musicians, some of them, and as someone who lived the life of a teenager who was like really into playing music with his friends and
very talented at it.
Doing that sort of shit. It made me scratch my chin and wrinkle my nose, and it's certainly like a different lived experience. Like this game is queer as fuck, right? Like it's totally, for not a specific individual or audience, right? Everyone should experience it, but I think emotionally resonating, like a certain type of person will certainly get more out of it than I. But aside from that, but as like someone who kind of did live with through some of this stuff, not my favorite portrayal of these types of characters.
Wait, did they portray gay people?
No, it's more like musicians written by presumably non-musicians. Maybe these people did have the same experience, and I'm just like, okay. It's the way it's presented or I'm receiving it.
Okay.
But are they just like, oh, you played that G chord wrong, Samantha. You got to do it like this. There's a mini game where you strum your hand over hers. She's like, oh, he's like, sorry, I was trying to help.
No, is it one of those things back at when those old commercials when he was like, hey, become a video game tester today? And the guy's like, yeah, you might want to tighten up the graphics on level 3. Is it like one of those things?
No, it's not so out of touch, thankfully. Although there's a moment where characters are like, oh, where's my, specific brand pick? Like, that's my favorite pick. It's like, stop. So that kind of gives me pause. But I think the overall chemistry between the cast and the writing is compelling enough. If you guys have watched Yellow Jackets, it reminds me a lot of that kind of this parallel narrative. And there's like this mystery that you're kind of uncovering through flashback. That's the conceit. I guess I should have gotten that out at the beginning.
So is this like a Life is Strange Scooby-Doo thing?
A little bit. I mean, I don't want to. It's not like gang. We got to solve a mystery.
Yeah, who's Fred?
No, no Freds. No men at all. Well, there's some men, but no in the friend group. Let's see. I'm trying to think of my last or other thoughts about this. Oh, and it's right that there's this weird fetishization of the 90s going on in media right now. I think because it's just 30 years ago, and I guess that's what happens.
That's the cycle.
That's what
it's
happens.
Been 30 years,
you know. And I guess this is like the first time in my life where I'm experiencing like what I assume older people felt when they're seeing all this 80s media.
Well, the 90s is just a shittier version of the 80s. The 80s was cooler, and then it's like the 90s was like its shittier younger brother.
You think so?
Well, it's weird to see the different ways that people take like decades of media and stuff. Because like Blood Dragon was all like super 80s,
like
right?
Neon
shit, and they had the guy from Terminator. And then Mullet Majak is based on 90s OVAs, which are all based on shit from the 80s.
Yeah, but it's a different lens still. Yeah, the interpretation. Yeah, it is. It's very interesting. With this game's kind of vision of the 90s, you know, and I was born in the year this game takes place. So it's not like I can be like, that's
fuck all y'all.
That's not right.
Am I the oldest?
You certainly
I was born in 87. So
you are.
Yeah,
man, I'm only 17.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I gotta quit this podcast.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not even playing Weezer or anything. They're like, oh, this great new song just came out.
Oh man,
is the music good? Music was always pretty good.
The most overrated band in my entire life. Why do people love Weezer so much?
You don't like Weezer?
Wrong. Get off my fucking show.
You look like a guy that would like Weezer.
I know.
Right?
Like Weezer. And to be fair, I like Weezer too. But
you got the glasses, the jacket, and the hair that says "I like."
That's why they call me shirt, glasses, hands.
Oh, that's funny. The music, man. So that joke you made, like, oh, have you heard this? They do that with some. They do that with bands. Like, have you heard of this new band, Sleater Kinney? They're from Seattle.
I thought it was going to be like, have you ever heard of Nirvana?
No.
Oh, that's good.
I feel like they're going to have a long career. They got a long road ahead of them.
There's like a time travel side mission.
They look directly into the camera.
Yeah. That's the real mystery. You have to save Kurt Cobain. Kurt, no! Don't date her!
I won't spoil any of the narrative, right? Aside from the conceit I've given you.
It sounds like we're getting dangerously close.
I'd recommend it if you like these types of games. If you don't, I don't know. I thought about Nick when I played this game. I was like, you'd probably find these characters to be so insufferable.
I like narratives,
right? But I think when the characters were insufferable, the gameplay actually like motivated me to get through it. And it's a nice quick thing. I was able to do it in a weekend. I think I need more shorter experiences in my life because
I've been feeling that too.
Just like jumping into a slog is jumping into a slog. And I don't think I want to do this.
That seems like with these type of new point and click games. Like it started with The Walking Dead, where they push the narrative with insufferable people, and it feels like it's and they started that trend, and it's been continuing.
You didn't like Lee?
People. I liked Lee. Lee was cool, man. You kidding me?
My favorite part. I love beating that random guy half to death.
Yeah, then chopping my arm off at the end. Oh, Clem!
Yeah, I guess the problem was everyone else.
But it is interesting. I'm curious to see how this genre will continue to evolve. The music. They have original music for the game, and some of it is quite good. Or that's the thing, though. I liked it initially, but then I listened to it more, and I was like, this is just mimicking other like good songs from the 90s, and it's kind of like the greatest hits thing that I hate,
like royalty-free sound-alikes.
But it's weird, yeah. It's like this is the Cocteau Twins, but it's not Cocteau Twins, And
like lawyers nudged it enough just to make it legally distinct enough.
It's strange, right?
They used to do the AI remakes.
Strange, just like life.
Exactly.
Makes you think.
Yeah, it does make me think. Hopefully that wasn't too rambling of a
No,
of
it sounds like a
show.
resounding
Dude.
endorsement. Despite if you're me, you probably won't like it. If you're a normal person, you probably will.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
I think you have the PS Plus Premium, right, Jake? I think it's
Yeah, I
free
do.
for yeah,
I'll
so
download
it'd be
it.
free for you.
I like these games, so yeah, I'll give them a shot.
Yeah, I'd
Enjoy.
like to see what you think about it because yeah, there's value there, and it certainly makes you feel. But there are definitely moments where my eyes were just rolling into the back of my fucking
Is this
skull.
the one where you get to the what's her fucking name? The original girl from the first one.
No, Max isn't in this.
Okay,
one.
Max
This is
isn't.
a completely like separate.
That's
from the,
double
from the
exposure,
latest
right?
one.
That's
They
double
did.
exposure.
Yeah, Double Exposure came out recently, and I've only heard bad things about it, which
Yeah,
makes me
didn't-
laugh because I didn't like.
Is that the people who made It Takes Two? Or
No,
not?
that's,
you're thinking
that's
of
Split
Split
Fiction,
Fiction.
which also came out
Split
today.
Fiction.
Yeah.
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 Well,
Which
Well,
looks interesting, even if
Any
the characters
thoughts
seem
on
whatever.
Joseph
I think
Ferris?
those games are for gamers that have a girlfriend.
Mm.
Right?
Joseph
It's a very
Ferris,
niche dynamic.
100%.
Niche?
I think that's everyone you're talking to, pal.
That's the
and
majority.
I've done that exact thing. Yeah,
You played It
Yeah.
Takes Two, Jake?
yeah, it's great.
Did you play A
I
Way
think
Out?
No,
The previous game. That
No.
one is uneven.
bad.
No, uneven. I think is the way to describe it. I think if any of us, like if any combination of the three of us played with the other, we'd have a good time. Because the gameplay certainly like supports fucking around, and the narrative is
Good.
kind of
That's
just
good.
like it's this stupid prison escape kind of game and story. But the
Oh,
characters
yeah,
are like
isn't that like heavily based off of Heat at the end or something?
I'm fine with that. Steal from whatever action
Yeah,
movie you
I
want.
love
I
Well, that's
don't
what makes
don't
the Grand
agree.
Theft Auto story so good is they
Yeah.
steal from movies.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's true.
no, I think so.
Which is why Bully is still the greatest one.
Hmm. And we'll never get a sequel.
Not to go on another tangent, but Bully,
No, please.
great game.
Oh, here we
Until
go.
the very
Here we
end.
go.
I
What
feel
is
like-
wrong with the end?
No.
Zwick?
There's nothing
What's
The
wrong.
wrong
end
with
feels
the
like it was
end?
rushed. The end feels like story-wise,
I'll
this
tell you what the
was
problem
rushed.
is with the end of Bully. The problem is that the game ends and you're not
Exactly.
playing Bully anymore. That's the
Exactly.
problem.
That too, but it felt like the
Shitting up in your night with
like,
you sucking your thumb, saying Bully 2 will come out any day
Dun,
now.
dun,
It's been
dun,
20
they
dun,
didn't
dun,
flesh
dun,
out the
dun, dun, dun.
townies enough for me in Bully. That was my only problem. The
Fair enough.
townies were like, now you're just kissing the townie for no reason. Like
You didn't
Because-
earn this, Jimmy. You
Yeah.
didn't even go on a
Yeah.
side quest.
You didn't even find my journal.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That's,
like
that's
no, the panty
interesting
raids and
perspective.
stuff were perfect.
the. Did you play the scholarship edition or did you play the vanilla
I
Bully
played
on
both.
PS2? Oh, nice round. I have as well. Great games.
Um,
Although the scholarship edition gets the art direction, I think, quite wrong. It makes everything
Yeah.
too clean.
yeah,
Everything should
I
be
think it's just-
disgusting.
Going back to the PS2 version, you're like, oh shit, this looks horrible. This looks decrepit as fuck.
yeah, but I like that. I like PS2 crust.
Well,
No, it's not a
Yeah.
detriment at all.
yeah.
It's just the atmosphere changes when, the direction is cleaned up like that. But Bully, great, wonderful.
I wonder if we'll ever get through a podcast without mentioning Bully.
No.
Bully's
the ones
one.
you're not on, I think.
Disco Elysium is one.
I restrained
That
myself.
one too.
I still have to play Disco Elysium, but
You can get off the show right now, Zwick, and then you can go back.
no,
Wow.
I'm too busy. Like I need to
Yeah, I
like
feel
have
that.
like a break when I have like a good extended break and I have time to myself.
Mhm.
Like I want to thoroughly enjoy Disco
Yeah,
Elysium.
you should stream yourself playing Disco Elysium so you won't enjoy it at all.
No, fuck that.
That'd be a nightmare. That'd be so unfortunate.
Make all the choices I
Yeah.
would make.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, from what I've heard,
Did you just say something racist?
don't be afraid to fail. Failure actually progresses the game.
Mhm.
So like
That's yes.
failing is still fun to do,
Mm-hmm.
right? From what I've heard. So
It's certainly true. I think it's one of the best crafted, like kind of choice driven narratives.
that being said, pirate the game because the guy who made it got screwed over by his publisher.
Yes,
So if you
yes.
want to play it, pirate it.
Zaum, may they
Yes.
rest in peace. There's been a Kickstarter actually announced for kind of a follow up
Like
from
4.
ex developers. Yeah, I know it's kind of becoming a buzzword now. Like
Yeah.
Disco
This
Elysium
Disco
successor.
Elysium style pseudo successor is really
Yeah.
gaining a
Has some
lot
really
of buzz.
painterly art.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that guy was fucking nuts. There's no way anyone's gonna.
Of course he's
match his
crazy. Look at how
artistic
good the
stuff.
game is. You got to be
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
exactly. Like Hideo.
You think
made,
Miyamoto's
like,
sane?
Yeah, exactly.
I think Miyamoto isn't
Yeah.
crushing turtles with a hammer in his office every day to get the inspiration.
Yeah, Kojima is the first one.
I
that
need a
came to
new
mind there,
Mario.
like,
I need a new
there's
Mario.
No way that dude is.
Kojima? No, he just likes movies.
He's
He's just a movie file.
It's a separate waves of the neurodivergency spectrum that all of these auteurs ride, you know? And I'm all here
auteur
for
was
it.
so good, he made like a demo shitty on purpose, and it created its own genre, PT-like games.
Yeah.
Like, that's how good
can you say?
IDEO is.
It's also the testament how bad horror was at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Horror was in a slump because
Jump scare,
it's
dog
going real
shit.
nice right now, but it used to be.
Just alternating between like third person, over the shoulder, Gears of War combat to getting jump scared by a bloody skeleton. It's terrible.
For Markiplier to go, whoa.
I know that built some people's careers. I recently watched a retrospective on Amnesia, and that just got me thinking about
30 minutes of Markiplier.
I have
Just the
heard that
boom.
game is actually really good, and don't let like.
You've
Let's
never
Players
played
say-
Amnesia?
Oh, it's fantastic.
No,
That's
I got
crazy.
turned off of it because Markiplier people played it. all
Okay,
right?
well,
That's-
just
fine.
because Markiplier is hecking sexy shouldn't mean that the game is bad.
Just
No,
because
play
we're all
it
sub to
if
his
you like horror.
OnlyFans. Yeah.
It's
No,
the
you
most
shouldn't.
defenseless I've ever felt in a game.
It's great. Yeah.
Like you're so vulnerable at any given time. The puzzles are hard. It's
It's
fantastic.
frightening.
It makes you feel
feels-
physically ill,
Yeah,
which is what I'm
yeah.
always looking for.
Yeah, but
What were we talking about?
yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
Mhm.
Or
The
Well, there's
new
yeah.
Life is Strange. You said there's a
Mhm.
new slop faucet
games
you've been
we
sucking
checked
on.
Yeah, let's-
Yeah.
Oh, you want to hear about the
Slop
slop? Oh my
the balls
god.
to her.
Okay. So I love the open world crime game genre, right? This is a well-known fact,
Okay.
right? And this year's a big year, you know, for that genre with Grand Theft Auto 6 is supposed to come out at the end of this year. I don't really foresee
I
that
doubt- I
happening.
doubt
If
it.
I'm being
Supposed
honest,
to,
yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. I really doubt it.
and I'm fine if it doesn't. Let them
Mhm.
take their fucking
Yeah,
time.
it could never come
let
out.
it cook. No, I don't know about that. And you know, I feel like the GTA clone has been long since been dead, which is unfortunate because it used to be such like a constant thing. And I'm
Oh,
someone
yeah.
who enjoyed that stuff.
Saints Row.
Yeah,
Saints
right.
Row,
Saints Row 2 is one of the
Crackdown.
best.
Saints Row 2 was peak.
Was
Dude,
one
I
of
would
the
love
best.
like an OG Crackdown.
Mhm. Crackdown.
Crackdown was
Incredible.
fucking awesome.
Super Cop.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
coming out this year that
They should just make a
somewhat
crooked
curious
cop game.
about.
That'd be great.
They did. It's called Narc. It was on release.
on
It
the
was like
PS2.
$20.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That sounds
yeah, a
awesome.
budget
Yeah,
game from
that sounds
Midway
cool.
on the PS2. Incredible. But no, hilariously, yeah. So in my desperation for something, because I don't want to fucking play Grand Theft Auto 5 again. I've played Grand Theft Auto 5 for a decade now, so many times.
Mm.
And I've squeezed that dry, you know, and I've played Sleeping Dogs so many times. I've squeezed these fucking games dry, just waiting for something new. So hilariously, I was playing the Saints Row from 2022, and what a pile of like,
Oh,
I'm not going to be like, this is actually a gem, guys. Like, no, it's bad.
it's bad.
Just
But
irredeemable.
I played that game at launch, and it's actually a somewhat different experience now, which makes me laugh.
I think it's worse.
So I wouldn't say that, but it's still shockingly unfinished. I'll get to that. Like, oh,
Wow.
Well, I think they
Yeah.
got, if I remember correctly, they were
it's an
making
Embracer
more,
Group game.
and they were
Oh,
making
yeah.
they were making more content for it and told.
So
like,
so
no,
there's
if I remember,
there was a season pass and there were a couple expansions released. I haven't gotten to that part of the game. And for context, I have played every single Saints Row game, right? 2 is the peak. I liked the direction of 1 and 2 more so than everything onward. I even played Agents of Mayhem and like Get Out of Hell and diminishing returns on both of those games, you know?
I forgot about Agents of Mayhem. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I forgot that existed.
I thought like if they made a game with like the Overwatch cast and they did something like that, I feel like it would work. Like you have hero kind of shooter elements in an open world, but
Like, seriously,
Not
I
Saints
thought that
Row.
was.
yeah, not
I
Saints
thought-
Row.
I thought or whatever you said. I
Mhm.
thought that was like a canceled game that they announced it was canceled. I forgot that
It
was
came out,
released.
baby, and it wasn't good. Let me tell you that. And so, you know, foolishly, I held hope when the first announcement of this reboot. You know, as much as I raised my eyebrow at the direction of the trailer, I was like, I'll give it a shot. I like the franchise. I'd like to see it brought back and succeed.
yeah,
And at launch, it was a real buggy mess. And what I noticed when I came back, hilariously, that also changed from launch is they just cut dialogue and like some jokes out of the script 'Cause I think,
too racy,
I
or
think
what?
the reception was just so negative. No, so like the
Well,
first,
that's the problem. It's written by nepo millennial gays, right? They have no life experience whatsoever, right? So it's
Mhm.
just like, oh man, student loans
wonderful.
sure are terrible.
It's so
Did that just happen?
weird.
Yeah, it sucks ass.
Right.
We need to get rid of these writers. We
And-
need new blood writers.
right. And I will say that I think the criticisms are a little overblown. Like, yes, it makes me roll my eyes, and I don't find any of these characters particularly likable, but it's not like, you know, a consistent stream of horseshit, thankfully.
I disagree. From what I've seen,
there are
I have to
redeeming,
disagree.
I mean, the story I've not really touched. There are redeeming merits to the world, right? Like, and the traversal of it, but there are these, like the cutscenes feel like they're missing assets or sound effects or polish. I think unpolished is a great way to describe a lot of the experience. Yeah, and the cut jokes, because like the first scene when your character is kind of driving back to your apartment, I remember at launch, they go on this tirade where they're just like cursing the world and how upset they are. And I thought, wow, this is pretty horrible. Like, I think because of the character voice that I picked, it kind of was like a minimal impact where I'm like, I feel like that would have been much worse if my character was using one of the different dialogue,
like serious voices.
Mm-hmm. Right, because they were just like swearing in Spanish the whole time, and I'm like, oh, all right, this is a character, you know, I can get into this. But yeah, I started over because it's been years since I picked up this game, and I got to that part, and I was like, okay, let's hear it. Just silence, just complete silence. They played the licensed music track that plays, you know, when your character's gone. I was like, oh, that's so weird. And then they play the rest of, like, you get calls from your roommates and they play all those voicemails, but your character's like says nothing the whole time. So it's quite strange, kind of surreal. And that was,
is it for the better or for the worse, you think?
I mean, I think it's for the worse. I think even if it was bad, like, at least if you don't,
It was something.
yeah, if you don't commit to being bad, then like, fuck off, you know. It just is even more soulless.
Yeah, no characters.
And I feel
character.
like it's so weird. Yeah, it's so weird how they portray, you know, the boss, right? Like, I know it's not the protagonist of the previous games, but it's like, this person's just a psychopath. Like,
but they're in the rights.
You know? Because I have such good friends and we eat waffles together and we live in this harmonious apartment, and we're all poor together. Like,
I see.
It was rough. And then there are these, it's been years, right? Years of after this game has come out. I hit a glitch where I couldn't even get out of my car. Like, the button just didn't work multiple times playing this game, which is crazy. So, and yeah, the second time around is when I noticed, like, the Embracer group in the intro. I was like, oh, like, this is completely like, this is the example.
This is a product.
Yeah, like money-making entertainment slop. And yeah, it's unfortunate because any artistic merit from, like, the world design, because you have this, like, kind of weird Southwestern mix of, like, Austin and other, like, New Mexico kind of cities. And that's not been really explored, you know, in this genre. So it could have been cool. It isn't. And, you know, I will say what it does well is what the series has always done well is player expression, like customization, and then the way you can kind of, the options you have, at least in minute-to-minute combat are, that's being generous, saying it's varied. But yeah, it's a hard do not recommend, unless you have an extremely high tolerance for fucking bullshit like I do. And you just like, you know, being in virtual spaces like that.
Yeah, for anyone out there in 2025 on the fence about Saints Row 2022.
Yeah.
2022. Yeah, it's crazy.
Now you know.
Mm-hmm. Really don't touch it. Yeah, it's
only gotten worse.
It's depressing as fuck, man. Like, I would love for that.
I would not be shocked if it just got delisted as a write-off or something, like all that Max shit, you know, all the cartoons.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think it's just going to be washed away.
Mm-hmm. My question for you guys that I wanted to bring with the Saints Row kind of revival was: has there ever been a series revival that you enjoyed? Can you think of any?
Does Devil May Cry 5 count?
No, I'm talking about, like, kind of. I think it's more of like a Red Dead Redemption to Red Dead Revolver or from Red Dead Revolver
Ninja
situation.
Gaiden
So
Xbox.
You're talking about like a sequel that came out 10 years later.
Like
That was
NES.
Yeah, kind of like it's a
like
soft
skips a
reboot
couple generations,
almost,
So
right?
it doesn't
or
have to be a remake.
not necessarily a remake. No. Just like a reintroduction of a property.
Probably
Or
Ninja
series.
Metal
Gaiden.
Gear might be a
Metal Gear Solid.
from the Nintendo.
Classic. Old picks.
Honestly,
Yeah, nothing recently.
Yeah.
of a remake, the Dead Space remake was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I forgot that happens.
It was really like they changed some stuff, but it was
They gave him
really
a voice.
Was it a different studio, or was it still EA kind of?
It was EA.
I guess Black Box doesn't exist anymore.
I don't
so-
know.
no.
Yeah, I don't know like the specifics on the developer. It was still EA. At the end
I
of the
can't
day,
remember
But you know
if-
what? It was good.
If I think Volition still was the developer here, but who knows how much of the original team?
Don't you guys
Yeah,
both like the God of
right.
War reboot?
Yeah,
thing?
God of Wars. Yes,
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah,
those were
That is-
good.
Mhm.
It was very different, but it was definitely a new take. But it was good.
I got quite bored of it.
I could
Did you
understand.
play
that.
on hard?
I play on the God of War difficulty. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, it can be.
I will
it
say
can be-
very un-God of War like.
It can be very linear.
I haven't played the
at
second
times,
one.
and without
I haven't
the
either.
full toolbox, I think it can be frustrating. Not frustrating, but it just feels limiting. before
Yeah,
you get
yeah. It's like
access to all the
hacking at
stories.
your own leg. Just takes
Yeah.
a long time.
You pose a good question though. There's definitely series revivals that have there. I mean, there's so many that are terrible, right?
Mhm.
There's
That's the
there's
thing, like,
definitely
kind
some
of-
that are good.
Yeah, there's some that shine, but like I feel like the majority of them. I don't know if it's just because we remember them or they're the ones that stand out, but it does feel like they're all in the past.
Mhm. That is kind of the thing too. It got me thinking, like, right, as in regards to like the writing and shit, like, yeah, this game is corny as fuck, right? But if you revisit the old Saints Row games, that humor, I don't think has aged very well either.
No, it's pretty
Right.
off the wall,
It's-
pretty
it's-
wild.
I played through
Okay.
Saints Row 2 with my brother-in-law. I was like, this is fucking stupid as hell. But
That's
I love this
why it's
game.
fun.
Right. That's
Yeah.
why that's the charm.
I want stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the wrong kind
I
of
would
stupid,
rather
guess.
have stupid than patronizing.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
super
that was a
patronizing.
problem with a lot of indie games up until like 2020, where I feel like games had to have a artsy fartsy angle to it. because
Man,
they're
you're just playing
indie
Braid.
games, right?
You're like, what's his fucking name?
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy playing Braid.
It's like, man, this game doesn't mean anything.
This game doesn't mean.
Well, even like Binding of Isaac, right? Like, even though it's like a gross and disgusting thing, it has like an artsy fartsy story. To
Sure,
it,
I
like
mean,
how
Binding of
religion
Isaac is pretty on the nose with it, though. Edmund
Yeah.
McMillan
They
is
do it well.
He's like a great developer. You know, made a great game.
Yeah,
He's not really known for
what
his
makes that game.
subtlety. You know,
Right.
the feces everywhere. You get the Bible, it makes you shoot holy tears.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I genuinely think Pizza Tower broke the curse of games having
Oh,
a success.
what? No,
Oh, yeah.
Y2K.
Y2K, no, Y2K is artsy fartsy as fuck, and I'm saying that as someone who loves that game. I'm saying they broke the curse of indie games having to be artsy fartsy.
Oh, you think it's
To be
crude,
successful,
rude,
I like
and
to-
you
to
want to
like-
see it
Yeah.
totally new?
To stand
Yeah.
out. To
Yeah.
stand out.
Yeah, to stand out. Yeah.
Resident
Yeah.
Evil does
I
a
mean-
revival.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
the remake
Capcom
for
within
2?
Capcom. Yeah.
That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was dead.
That was a revival.
You could either count 7 or.
I
It's
guess
like one
there
console
wasn't like a
generation, though.
huge 10-year gap. So
I'm thinking like, what's a big ass
yeah,
gap?
I know.
What's a big gap? I don't
Mhm.
know. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other similar situations to Saints Row kind of being picked up, kind of.
I can think of like examples of like indie games like taking the reins.
Well, yeah,
and-
that's
Mm.
I mean,
Doing a
Pizza
better job.
Tower and Anton Plaza are just two different takes on Wario,
Wario
Land, crossing
Land,
Wario
yeah.
Land with Sonic Advance, crossing Wario Land with Crash Bandicoot, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's interesting. You bring up indie games, and I know that like an open world crime game is not like an indie project scope, like reasonable.
I think that could happen.
but it'd be interesting
within
to
the
see
next
how
10
people
years.
do
I think
that.
someone's
like,
going to do.
yeah, I'd
Someone's
like
going
to
do a
see.
throwback of San Andreas or
Exactly.
Vice City. I
Exactly.
guarantee
Yeah,
it.
for
Yeah,
sure.
listen,
And I'd like to see what values they bring to it that like from someone that like grew up with that or marinated in it for years and years. And it's like, I want to be able to take a shit. Yeah. Like, yes, this is the innovation I waited
yeah,
for.
you know what? I am wondering why hasn't anyone made like a Postal type game?
Mhm. Right? In the indie scene, like how come
Yeah,
that
exactly.
level of kind of stupid, gross,
Stupid,
but
violent,
immersion,
Looney Tune shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's there. It's interesting. Aspiring indie devs, there you go.
yeah. Either make the corrupt cop game I was saying should be easy, or make a Postal type game.
You know, I think they could be the same game. Actually,
Because here's the thing.
a
not even
corrupt cop
Postal-
going postal.
Here's the problem. Postal 2 is is like the peak, right? And then Postal 3, nobody talks about that.
Yeah, it's
but even
different
Postal 4 just doesn't feel as
it's
good
not
as
finished,
Postal 2.
even.
Even with the not finished, I feel like the humor is dated, and I'm talking about Postal 2, where where its dated humor feels like a time capsule. Postal
4 is like, let's do Postal 2 again.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Shit that drives me
but not as
nuts.
good.
Yeah,
yeah.
I hate that shit. It is unfortunate.
So I don't know if we could do that. I don't think we could make another Postal 2. And
No,
if we do,
we just need funny people.
Yeah, I got a copy of Pico Cat. I'm on it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay. Here. Okay. If you want a good spiritual successor to Postal 2,
here we go. Zwick's secret to success. Here we go.
You're not going to like this answer. You're going to want someone to make it like Sam Hyde.
Why would I not like the answer?
Or something like that. I don't know. Some people don't like Sam Hyde. It's either they love him or they hate him. I feel like
someone that level of psychotic humor would be perfect, actually.
Yeah, that person could write the next Postal 2, but the people who
the powers that be wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't allow such an amazing game to be crafted.
Certainly.
The Illuminati would take a break from drinking their baby blood to be like, stop him!
And that's the thing, I'm not even a $1 Million Extreme fan, but I think they would probably do the best spiritual successor to Postal if they wanted to.
Who would?
$1 Million Extreme.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They got piss humor down,
It's true.
Oh, very good.
They love violence, They just love the violence.
Oh, shoot. Speaking of spiritual successors, I have to bring this up.
Yeah.
I played this game. I played the demo of this recently. I highly recommend it. It's a spiritual successor to Pokemon Snap. It's called Sapphire Safari. You should check that out. It's really
I'm going to look this up. And I swear to God, if you're taking pictures of like Monster Girls or something, I'm going to smack you.
Well, of course there's monsters in it. Right? But I feel like it strays away because...
These are all completely naked.
What are you talking about?
These characters are all...
Well, you expect...
Oh my God.
Monsters to wear clothes?
Sapphire Safari?
Kinky Fridays? What is this?
I knew it.
The last bastion of open world sex mechanics left to build in Sapphire Safari. What the hell is this shit, Zwick?
Like fucking Pokemon Arceus.
Shit, bro.
Okay, I'm going to say this right now. I played this game as a joke to bring up.
As a joke, right. This is funny. You know what's funny?
Well,
porno.
Here's the thing. The game weirdly got addictive, and I played that demo for a solid 2 hours.
I wonder why.
Started jumping up on
the mechanics are really good. Like it's Pokemon Snap, but it's like third person, which I feel like kind of takes away a little bit. Right, but then you have to take variants and then like them in different poses.
At first I thought I just played the game as a joke, but then I found the fisheye lens. It opened a whole new world.
Suddenly I was
I'm telling you, try the demo.
I can only imagine why you didn't think to bring this up in the last episode. Yeah. Insane to me.
Because I didn't play it the last episode.
Oh, wow, things can change in days.
Mind.
Yeah.
That's Jesus Christ.
I
could just tell.
Playing the demo.
Sapphire Safari is like, that is some fucking nasty ass.
Hey, there's a through line between Lost Records, 2 camera games.
There's also like a Futanari slider.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wow.
and then also there's like mechanics. So like you're in third person, you have to be cautious because you're trying to take a picture, and another animal will attack you and try to have sex with you.
Right,
like,
you don't want that.
And you don't. Here's why. Because when you do, like you have
the sound of your ass cheeks clapping just alerts the
other
scares
off the other monsters.
Oh,
the
my
nervous
shot,
lamb monster will be gone.
But if you took a really good photo and then an animal attacks you and you didn't deposit that photo, you lose that photo if you get attacked by an animal.
Oh my
God.
And then you have to do it all over again.
There's mechanics in this game. There are real mechanics. I'm saying do not sleep on this, all right?
Okay, Zwick. I am not going to play this game.
Play it, you coward.
I am not
play it.
Malwarebytes won't even let me open their site, dog. It's not playing this game.
It's on Steam. You can play the demo for free on Steam, you cowards. Check it out.
I like to compile the new games that we talk about in the episode. I am not fucking tagging this developer.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, I'll put the trailer in.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
You know what? If you could put the censor bar over it, just automate it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
demonetized.
I could tell as soon as I saw the thumbnail, I saw the fucking like
the furry
royalty-free Pikachu with its ass. I was like, oh, this is
They're called
Of
bunnets.
course, Zwick is playing this for hours on end.
It's the new Power World.
It's
It could
good.
be.
Do
Doom
not
World,
sleep on
yeah.
it. It's
From the Xbox
a
now.
really good 3D Pokemon Snap.
Maybe they'll
I
be
think
giving a
so.
talk at GDC. How to make people play your game.
God.
Put sex in it.
I came in thinking it was going to be bad, and I was going to talk all seriousness, but no, the game is worth checking out. It's actually.
Mhm.
I have high hopes for it when the game comes out. I hope.
You're like
I'm
a
looking forward to
crack addict.
thinking
Be like, dude, have you even tried smoking crack?
yeah.
How you can be
just a
so
little
against it if you've never even tried smoking crack?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try the demo. Try the
just
crack
because there's a little
demo.
titty. Just because
It's
there's a little
free.
titty.
It's
free.
free. Just try it.
Just because there's a little titty in the game doesn't. I'm too good because there's some tits and maybe some butts in the game. I can't handle that. Not in my Christian games.
Exactly.
You know, it's the beauty of the hobbies. Like, we love
They
it.
teach their own, but I'm not
Exactly.
judging.
Exactly.
You better tag the developer, you coward. I actually,
Oh.
I want to give them
I want
praise.
them on the
It's good.
show. I need to talk to them.
Oh God.
Now,
That might
Butcher's
be
Creek,
sick,
there's a
that
wholesome
episode.
game. That's something that's someone I want to talk to.
We'll get them both on back. So
Yeah.
both of your characters,
Both of you
butt
guys
ass
are the two
naked.
extremes of human
Mhm.
psychology.
Goodness.
I will say that game, Butcher's Creek, you need to look down and see your dick, or else it's a 0 out of 10.
Have you not played it?
I played a little bit of it, but then I got busy.
Yeah. No,
Do you see your
can't.
dick in it?
You
Do
can't,
look down? Do you
sadly.
see your dick? Damn.
Wow, this is
Like-
no Cyberpunk 2077.
No.
There you go. Your dick's just popping out of your jeans.
That was another. I gotta tell you this. For Cyberpunk, I had a plan where I was going to do a whole stream talking about how I was going to play Cyberpunk. And then I was going to do just a 2-hour stream of like customizing the penis because I thought there was going to actually be customization,
It's like a preset,
like
right?
length and girth.
Well, you
Oh,
can
you gotta
choose.
play,
penis one
yeah.
and penis two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Are
was
you
like,
circumcised or
You gotta play Conan
uncircumcised?
for that.
And what kind of
Yeah.
push do you have?
Are you serious? That
Oh,
ruled.
Conan, yeah, dude. That
was
was
like
like
the whole
years
reason.
ago when it was early
Whole
access.
reason. People got
Penile
that game.
sliders.
Yeah.
I've heard that game was actually good.
It was hella
For
fun.
an
It
MMO.
wasn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it
Yeah.
good, but like
It's
at the time we were the group I was playing with. We exploring game or just random games outside of League. This was years ago. We tried Rust, like private server and shit, and then that got old quick because Rust was still so bare bones at that time. And then Conan had just like released. We
Conan
didn't get into
Exiles,
Arc.
right?
Like Arc we were considering, but Arc was a high price point, and Conan was like early access, and it was like $15 or $20 or something
Mhm.
for, if that, for early access. And it was pretty bare bones, but it was really fun, dude. Getting the thralls and like dragging them around was crazy. Like it was just wild.
Put him on the
Like,
wheel of pain.
Literally, it was just
Yeah.
called the Wheel of Pain. Like we had countless laughs. We only played it for probably a month or two, but it was still hilarious for that
That's fun.
time.
I mean, the mechanic of being able to climb on most surfaces, very exciting.
Supposedly, it's been really fleshed out, and it's
Yeah,
actually
it's been supported for years now. The
Yeah.
studio's making the not to go on too much of a tangent, but they're releasing the Dune survival game this year. Is their latest
that could
project.
be fun.
Could be.
It could be. I mean,
I played Conan Exiles, and it was. I think I had a kind of a similar amount of fun as you did.
yeah, it's not forever, but it's fun. The fact I didn't realize they continued to support it. I'm actually glad they did because
There's like some crazy shit now. There's like a whole other island and
I think it has a cult
gliding
following.
creatures now.
It
Yeah,
does.
it's crazy.
And there's
I don't
like
know
a whole
if it's- I don't know if it
RP.
still has a following, but like I remember back.
They
in the day, it
overhauled all the
definitely had hardcore
combat too, somewhat recently. It's pretty nuts.
That's
Maybe
cool.
it's worth a revisit.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
the builds were pretty fun and stuff. Like you chose your god, and you got special bonuses based on that. It's just based
Godless.
on where
I
you
have no
went.
god.
It was missing like dungeons and stuff. Like had it had dungeons and stuff like that, it would have been
Mhm.
honestly
Seems
great
integral.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Like
just didn't-
Valheim
you
has
could tell
dungeons, which is true.
right. It was like it was just a bare bones Valheim, but a little more
I
But you
think
could be
I
crazy
think
shit.
I think
Yeah.
nowadays you'd certainly find the breadth of content. I think more than
No,
that.
it's cool that they supported it.
Now you can adjust the length and the girth.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah.
It's like, is that your
You
How
got
thigh?
much wrinkles are in the
Oh,
sack?
You can use it as a weapon now.
Mhm.
Right. How thick the seam is on your scrotum, you know,
Mhm.
the bell end, how wide it is.
Can you play
know,
the
like
bell
bell
end?
end with a skinny dick.
Very British.
Is
of you.
that why they call people bell ends?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh
that's,
my
yeah,
God.
that's the head of your dick. Yeah.
I just assumed it was some stupid British thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
rhyming slang.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah, you never know. British things out.
Sasha
way out
Bellend Cohen.
Yeah,
Oh, I get it now.
they're saying that they don't like him.
Yeah, I see.
Such a
Very
mystical
good.
culture.
Mm-hmm. All right, Nick. Any games from the Steam Next Fest? More demos.
Yeah.
coming
I
down the
actually did get my
pipeline.
hands on a couple more in the meantime.
Tell me you tried out Haste. I hope you did.
I actually didn't. I
Damn,
tried
you
out.
do need to check that out.
I
I
looked
want to
at
hear
it
about that on the
and
next
said
episode.
no.
I actually
What
went back
is
to
it?
Gear Grit after because I didn't finish the final boss because the game crashed, and I don't know. I just got sucked back into it. I was like getting all the bolts and shit. It really does have that Jack 2 feel that I didn't know
Yeah,
that
no,
I was missing.
I watched footage of it today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jake, you should really try Gear Grit because I know you were a big Jack head.
I fucking loved. I just
Imagine
played all of
Jack
them.
2, but the
Yeah, you're a girl.
The cars
Yeah,
the cars aren't made of tissue paper.
but
at the
it's
end.
literally
actually
like the
good.
same like cone shotgun, the like
I'm looking at
Oh,
it.
kind of
Gear
long
Grid.
range Gear
Yeah, the little
Grit.
rifle. Yeah.
One word. You got
All
it right.
one word.
Yeah.
Got it.
I was trying to get all the purple bolts, but there's one I just can't find. I was trying to message the developer, but he has messages from strangers turned off, so I'm shit out of luck.
Oh,
Bummer.
this looks pretty fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah, straight up just Jack
it's
2.
just Jack 2,
hmm
but with like a little more intricate combat.
Exactly.
Oh, this looks good. I'll add it.
So it was fun. Like at first I was like, I don't really the movement's kind of odd, but once you get used to it, it just makes sense. You can do like fun stuff, like do long jumps. It makes you run way faster. You can fuck with the momentum.
Ooh, nice.
It's
nice,
it
yeah.
feels nice. Feels nice to move around. It has that
There's
like
some
old
tech there.
Yeah, it's like that kind of tech that feels unintentional, like that PS2 era, like sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
using the spin move to get that little extra lift, which
yeah, for
it tricks
sure.
you into thinking that you're cheating the game, even though it's like obviously you're supposed to do it because there's a
It's
bolt
meant
just
to.
out of reach or something.
Yeah.
And you're
Right,
like, I hacked the game.
And
No, that looks good.
Wonderful
I
sensation.
actually will likely play that. That one
Check
looks
out
fun.
Haste Broken
It's fun.
Worlds.
Yeah, what's
too.
Haste?
Yeah,
Haste
man, we'll
Broken
get to it. All right, we'll get to it.
Play it. I want to hear about it on the next episode. I think you will really like it.
I'm making my
Haste
way through these
Broken
demos.
Worlds.
Oh, I played
Oh, this looks
2025
fun.
is going to be the new 2024
I'm-
for best game of the year because
I
holy
hope-
fuck,
I hope
these demos
every-
are fucking crazy good.
I hope that every single year has better games than the previous year.
I'm literally
personally.
playing Sonic Frontier, so this looks pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
This looks like a Sonic clone almost, but like
It is not a Sonic clone. It's more of like
It's a
it's
cluster
kind of
truck
like a ball
clone.
game, like a ball rolling game.
Okay.
Put on
Oh my god,
Football.
Zwick, enough with the
But-
ball games, okay? Sapphire Snap, now this.
Sapphire Safari.
Oh, my
Thank
mistake.
you. Respect the game. All right.
Yeah, if you're tagging these devs, you better put some respect on their game.
I am not tagging
Exactly.
these devs.
You better.
Listen, you want to comment and
I
say,
want them to know
hey,
that it's good.
Go to this
I
mark.
played your game as a shitpost, and it was genuinely good. It definitely
Yeah.
needs more polish, but you definitely have
You know what? If you
the
want to,
fundamentals down.
you want to clip it out and send it their way, go ahead.
There
Just
you go,
blur
yeah.
me out and zoom in on Sam.
me too. yeah, just make
Fucking
it spam.
Yeah,
And that
you
game.
move
Well,
Sam's
talking-
lips so it looks like he's saying it.
I love Sapphire Safari.
There you
It's
go.
actually
Oh, there, I don't
quite-
even, I don't
quite
even have
in-depth.
to. I'll just cut that out.
There you
Perfect.
go.
Nothing more I like than snapping bipedal babes. I don't know
Yeah.
what these things look like. Fucking
My favorite kind of lady
anthropomorphized.
is two-legged. I played Mashina, which is the new game from the Judero developers, which is you're a little robot and it alternates between like going through a town and playing like Miner Dig Deep or like Infiniminer, but it's all
Okay.
like claymation. It's very like cool, cute experience, but it's also very short. I didn't really get a lot out of it. It's
What's
like
this one called?
Mashina. So it's Mashina. Like very stylish game.
Oh
The gameplay is like I spent an obscene amount of time on those mining games in high school and middle school, and this is that, but all all clay, all stop
Mhm.
motion.
I see.
So I can see myself
Machine?
definitely spending a lot of time on this.
I'm
Yeah,
not finding it. But very cool.
Not
I know.
Sex Machina. Right?
no, common mistake.
Next Machina.
It's Mashina.
That's like the audio sort of like beat pad company.
Yeah, exactly.
Mashina.
Yeah, I like these mining games. Oh, I used to.
Oh, yeah.
I used to play
You'll
shitload
like it
too.
again. There's really not that much to do. I mean, I'm sure if you just don't do any of the story missions, you could play for longer. But
It's
a
a
nice
demo
little
though, right?
idea. It's just the demo. Yeah, I saw someone the other day,
Mhm.
unrelated, on one of the indie developer servers I frequent. Was like, oh, I tried the demo for like Mindwave the other day. So great. The only bad thing about it is that it feels unfinished.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's just the first level.
Something's
It's not
missing.
even for sale, is it? It's not like an
I
early
can't-
access.
it's
It's
just
just a
crazy.
demo.
I can't put
Sounds
my
like a
finger
bait
on it.
post, dude.
It's just crazy to me to be like, I can't in good conscience give this a good review. It's just something. It's just a little unpolished, seems
Would
a little
not
unfinished.
recommend.
That's just right.
Insane.
That is
I don't know, man.
Schizo Wario wear, right?
Yes,
Mm.
yeah. All the
Love
mini
that.
games are like
micro games.
games, mind to mind.
Oh, we talked about this one.
Mhm. And I played Artis Impact, which is a turn-based RPG with a really outstanding art style, really outstanding animations, and there's actually a lot of gameplay to it. I didn't get to go that far, and
Mhm.
it ended up being way more. I don't know if I like fucked up or if I'm just not grinding enough because I don't like grinding.
Mhm.
But
Artis
the way it
Impact.
looks, the way it just moving around it is probably one of the most impressive sprite-based games I've ever seen.
I like that. Speaking of, yeah, I see the appeal. Speaking of, turn-based RPGs and recent topics on the show, Nick, have you seen any of the buzz surrounding Claire Obscura?
Oh, the Western
Expedition
JRPG.
33? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I mean,
seen
I've been
good
honestly
things.
ignoring it because
Mhm.
I mean everything about it. I feel like I'd be interested in because it's got the Final Fantasy X kind of battle system.
What?
Hey, you haven't heard about this?
No.
It's like a Western JRPG.
Expedition 33.
This is.
I think it just launched today.
I
or
think
very
this
recently.
is the
Oh,
one
it came
that's-
out.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Claire Obscura.
I gotta buy some.
Expedition 33.
Yeah, dude. This had a video on the Game Awards. Was it? They had a trailer.
Claire
No, this
Obscura,
comes out
excuse
April
me.
24th.
Oh
Wait.
shit.
Yeah, they had a trailer for this. I believe they had a trailer for this at the Game Awards, and it looked
Okay, my
so
bad.
ambitious.
I guess
and-
I'm just seeing people playing it.
dude. It looked hype
Yeah.
as fuck.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
no,
was
the battle
like,
system is like very
skeptical.
strongly reminds
Oh,
me
yeah.
of Final Fantasy
Definitely
X.
wrong.
The story, I feel like it has that kind of PS2, PS1 kind of fatalistic fight against
Mhm.
God, meaningless struggle story that I'm really into. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I also don't want to look up anything about it at all.
Mhm.
Yeah, same. The trailer was good enough. It didn't give away too much. It was just, but it almost looked. I was skeptical because I was like, this looks so good that
Too
gotta
good
be
to be
true.
true.
Like,
yeah.
is this really with being a brand new studio, their first game, and it looks
That's why I have hope,
polished?
though.
I was like, I hope this is as good as this looks
Mhm.
because it looks really good. The story just looks really intriguing, and yeah, it looks good
Yeah.
for sure.
Right
I'm
on.
gonna play
Okay,
that.
I'm just misinformed. I thought it was like coming out. Forgive me, viewers and listeners.
Yeah, not yet.
That's strike one.
But I have hopes for it, which
Mm.
Me
I
too.
try not to let that happen, but I do.
I was kind of like, how have I not heard? Like, I was surprised there hadn't been more buzz about it until the Game Awards.
I
I'm glad it
remember.
was
I
at the
remember
Game
seeing
Awards.
news of it.
They released in like
While
some.
ago.
They were like showing off like the power of the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Or some showcase.
But I guess it's just nice to see that other people are buzzing about it and recognizing that this could be a
Yeah.
I'm glad you reminded me about it because I hadn't heard about it since December.
Best case scenario,
Yeah.
this is the new Xenogears. Worst case scenario,
French Xenogears.
I'm bored the whole
It's French
time
studio.
and I don't like it.
Yeah.
That's what it
All right. Well, what's next? What's next on the list, Nick?
I
Yo,
think that's
Sonic
all.
Frontiers is pretty fun.
Yeah, let's just go with that. I played all the demos already.
All right. Right on.
I'm just playing KOF 15 now.
Very good. All right, Jake. Yeah, tell us. Sonic Frontiers.
The music is. I'll start with the best part. The music is phenomenal.
They got a new
Like the
orchestration
music.
in his world.
I mean, they have a ton of music of like good bangers from the old games that you can play through and find in like the main world.
Oh yeah, Sega's good about that.
Yeah,
They do.
Chemical
Like,
Plant Zone, probably the best.
what?
Second, Chemical Plant Zone being the best song.
Yeah, it's there's so many good songs in it, and the original music in it is cool too. There's like this gorgeous, serene, like music when you're exploring the world, and then you get to like a boss battle, and it's fucking like death metal, and it's not death metal. It's
Butt rock.
like
I
like metalcore. It's
Yeah.
fucking good. It's
I've
hype, dude.
I've heard snippets of that, and I was surprised. It's like pop punk vocalists, kind of like on
Yeah.
the track. Yeah,
Yeah. It's like metal from not metal even. It's I forget what you'd call it.
what kind
The
of
metal
core this is?
Yeah,
Like
you and I.
80s metal?
It's like
No.
shoegaze.
It's like late
No,
2000s, 20s metal that
Yeah.
has a bit of that like techno-ish to it, but also just it's so out of nowhere, but it fits so well
Mhm.
at the hype moments. And it's not hard. It's still got its like classic Sonic, a little bit of wonkiness. Like it was definitely a little bit unfinished, but for the most part, it's a breath of fresh air for someone who had long given up on that franchise. Like who grew up with the adventures and completely gave up after. I mean,
oh 06.
06 Unleashed. I played Unleashed though, and like the day levels, of course, super fun. And they kept the whole boost, they call it the boost era. And I mean, Generations was phenomenal. I haven't played the newest Shadow one, but I do plan on playing that because I've heard nothing but praise.
Supposed to be the best one.
Yeah. And so that's good. At least they're moving in a good direction because I do really enjoy Sonic games and miss them, whether it be nostalgia or not. But like I like racing games too, and they scratch that same itch. So it's just
speed freak.
It's fun. The music keeps me in it. There's some parts that definitely could have done without, but like the 2D sections are not done well. After playing Mania, it's like,
oh, they try to do like an Odyssey
Mania
thing where it's like play classic Sonic stages or what?
It's not. No, it just goes to 2D sometimes, and some of the stages you get into are 2D, and they just unless you have the Mania developer or whoever did the stages,
like someone who actually knows how to make good 2D stages.
Yeah, like Generations does a great job with 2D stages. But yeah, the 2D stages
not the best
out of it.
Yeah,
but otherwise, I mean, it's a great game. I mean, not great. It's a good game. If it's ever on sale or free, it's worth playing.
It's ever on sale or free. No, on sale's better. Yeah.
I mean, I think it was free for me on PS Plus.
I think it is included in the catalog. Yeah.
Is it as good as Mario Odyssey?
No.
Is it too Sonic as Mario Odyssey?
But I'll be honest, I didn't love Odyssey.
Well, you're a Sunshine head.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow! You really should have been on the Rollis episode.
Yeah, all they talked about was fucking Mario. They were obsessed.
Mario Sunshine is by far my favorite. It's not even
Wait, did you say Mario Odyssey?
Yeah.
Odyssey, these nuts. Oh,
get this guy out of here.
Got him.
And with that, the show's over, everyone. Good night.
Guys, Odyssey is good. There are so many mechanics in Odyssey with like the amount of, like you were talking about in Jack, where you can do the circle jump. Like there's so much to that. Kind of like in Automata too. They had that as well, but it was a little overwhelming for me. I just like hub worlds.
Hub world. They're cozy.
They're cozy.
Yeah.
Something about going back to the same place.
I've been playing.
You will like Broken Worlds again. Not to say that, because the hub world is just a playground for you to like run around and like figure out how to move around.
That's sick.
Sorry,
Nice.
I keep talking about it.
No,
That game if that game comes out, that's a contender for 2024.
Wow. 2025 game with you.
25, thank you.
Got stuck in the past.
I know.
Yes.
I'm struggling with that too, especially at work.
I was just gonna say I was revisiting the latest Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Were you?
That game has
Dude,
because I've been wanting something just like
wait.
vibrant, right? Like colorful.
I just got a new TV, so I
need something. I need something
bad.
lighter. I was like played through some games like this is just not it. I need something that's not so self-serious.
Yeah, I've heard I've seen videos of it. So like we just, because I had a TV. The TV I had was from like 2013. It was like one of my first purchases right out of high school. And
early HD.
Yeah. The LCD did me great for Panasonic. It did me great for a long time, but
you upgraded recently.
When I got a PS5 Pro, I was like,
I gotta get the TV.
This isn't right.
So you can get like
doing me nothing.
Full HDR and everything.
Dude, yeah. So I went to. I've got because they announced like the OLED G5, the LG G5. I got the G4, and because they went down in price like crazy, and fuck, dude, it's fucking night and day. I've never played on TV like this, and the games, it's so much more responsive. Even I was shocked.
Really,
I thought
like.
Not 4K,
like latency or anything. Like
the latency is better than on my old one, and because going back to like a CRT, there's nothing as responsive as that, and then going to an LED, LCD, like plasmas that were terrible, and then it seemed like the better you got in quality, the worse responsiveness you got. This one is the best of all worlds. I did a lot of research before I bought it, and fuck, dude, it's amazing, but. Cool. It's also, I want to play Rift Apart because honestly, because as you know, I'm almost done with Up Your Arsenal.
Right, you've been going through them.
And Up Your Arsenal on it definitely looks like worse than it did on
Yeah,
the
because
LCD.
it's like
It
this
looks
is
like
really
shit.
upscaled now.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
way too upscaled. I turned the air upscaling off because it was just like, oh, this is not great.
Disgusting.
And yeah, but I can't wait to play Rift Apart because I've seen videos of that and it
It's
literally looks like
still
a Pixar
impressive.
film.
Yeah,
It looks like a Pixar. It's gorgeous.
I remember reading in gaming magazines when the PS3 launched, and they were touting the latest Ratchet and Clank as having like animated movie level, sort of immersion with this. But I think at this console generation, they're actually delivering on that promise.
No, for sure. Just from what I've seen on
Insomniac is
clips,
just like they've done good work.
They don't really
this
fuck up.
this past generation.
Yeah,
like they're not making Game of the Years, but
yeah. So I mean,
making
Spider-Man 2's narrative was not my favorite, but the gameplay still was really good.
And they did Insomniac does a really good job of keeping the feel of a game. Like from what I've seen with the Spider-Mans, like it has the feel of the old Spider-Man 1 and 2, right from the PS2 era.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did a good job of translating that to now.
I think so. Yeah, hilariously, I play like 10 games at a time, right? So
I have no idea how you do it.
I'm always bouncing off of things. So yeah, I've also been playing Spider-Man 2 hilariously, and it's interesting
Can't
to play.
escape.
It's interesting, I know, but I'm just revisiting it because the traversal and the combat it is pretty good.
Insomniac's good,
but
dude.
you also there's like a strange feeling of playing Ratchet and Clank. Where I'm like, whoa, this is like a Spider-Man set piece, but it's just kind of swapped around with the Ratchet setting. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think it just means that the studio has a strong identity and that you can sort of feel that through their work, regardless of the property. So yeah, still impressive, still very cool, very beautiful game. I just
Can't
thought
wait to get to that.
Yeah, beautiful hub worlds. Like I just stop and love to take those in.
It's
cool to see the franchise's like art realized at that level.
Yeah, they even replaying the old ones. Something they've always done just incredibly well is when you get to a planet, you jump out of the ship. The first scene is always the view of the planet you're about to explore, and it's just like you're just sucked in right away. You're like,
it's
I can't wait to see what this planet's about. Like this looks awesome, and you can almost see the whole. Like they do such a good job of capturing what this planet is going to be the second you land. And like you get a good feel for it, a good feel for the theme and everything. Every single game,
right?
At least for the first three of the series so far, each one does that perfectly on every planet. They don't skimp out. It's cool.
Yeah. I'm glad that Ratchet is kind of somewhat quietly just maintained a presence.
I know, me too, dude.
Like I didn't like the game that came out around the movie. I didn't like
the remake of. I'm not even gonna play it.
Yeah. But Rift Apart is really good. Yeah. Very cool.
That's cool. I'm stoked. Gotta get through the future trilogy. I'm almost done. I'm on the last planet of your arsenal.
Very good. Any other games from you, Jake? Or shall we move on?
I finished the Long Dark episode 4. So I finished all the Long Dark Winter episodes.
What's the narrative?
Yeah, what is that? That sounds
game?
familiar.
It's the survival game, like you crash a plane, right?
Are you in like a winter wilderness?
Yeah, mountains.
Like the forest kind of.
My side of the mountain.
It's really good.
Kind of energy.
It's a good game. I haven't done the survival mode. I may just because I been getting the itch to just go back to it, but I'll wait till episode 5's out, which is going to come out soon.
That game has been out for like 10 years.
So the final episode of Wintermute is coming out with an expansion, and then they're coming out with Long Dark 2, I guess, which is going to be more of a co-op game.
Oh, I like co-op survival games.
Me too. So I'm like, this you and I might be playing. So but yeah, Wintermute. I mean, a lot of people have their qualms with the Wintermute story, but I think
it's when episodic. It's episodic.
It's not. It's it's episode to episode, but it follows the same narrative. And like in episode 1 to 2, you keep all your shit that you had in 1 into 2. Right, but then in 3, you play as a different character and you lose all your shit. Something happens, and then in 4, you go back to the main dude you were playing, and then you don't have any of your shit from 1 and 2. So I actually liked that I got to rebuild, because I was so fucking stacked at the end of episode 2.
Yeah,
that it was like
what happens in those games.
Yeah, you end up getting so stacked, and then there's still
no
like
tension.
a impending challenge, but it's not nearly as hard.
Less tension, rather.
Yeah, there's less tension. But 5, I'm curious to see what they do. The narrative's actually pretty good. It's fun. It's
Is it all told environmentally, or are there actually other characters you're
there's other characters.
interacting
So
with?
there's a story. There's a story. You're
I
doing
only played this game in
objectives.
early access, so it sounds so strange to me.
No, it's good, dude. You would like it. You should
fully
check it out.
featured now. Yeah.
If you like the story mode, people tout the survival very highly. I'm sure it's really
That's
good.
all there was. Yeah, back in the day.
Right. And I'm sure it's excellent. I just haven't jumped into it. But yeah, no, that's the last one I have. I'm going to just kind of finish that up, hoping episode 5 comes out sooner than later so I don't fall too out of place
like
with
lose
it.
momentum. That's a tough thing with games. Really? Very cool.
That is just RuneScape, you know?
Yeah,
as
classic.
always.
I actually was kind of curious. As I was thinking of conversational topics today, just to kind of break the ice between Jake and Zwick, I was going to ask, what sort of titles do you guys like always keep in circulation on your system or your PC? Like, what never gets deleted? What do you know? Like, I'm always going to play this game.
Civ was one of those,
Civ.
but it isn't. I'm not going to play 6 until it's actually a game. I mean, 7.
7
Sorry.
already?
7,
Yeah.
that's what I meant. I played.
Did
6
it release in early access?
It didn't, but it feels like it, so I'm not going to play it. Or from what I've seen.
Do they get a lot lot of expansions in their life cycles?
It's for access, dude. Yeah.
Forever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with XCOM, right?
Yeah.
XCOM 2 is a game that never leaves my library, and I always have a campaign going. Age of Empires.
XCOM 2 is so sick.
RuneScape. And then as far as like indies, I mean, I always have like a deck building.
Yeah, genre works as well.
Yeah, but I only play one main like hard narrative game at a time. So like right now, for me, even though Long Dark wasn't exactly hard narrative, there was a narrative that I was following.
Yeah, the one you're focused on.
I'm going to. I would used to be Crisis Core, so my next endeavor is Sonic's kind of filling that.
I was going to say, is Sonic the narrative?
It's not,
game
but
right
I
now?
know this is only going to be like a 15-hour game. Like I'm already blitzing through it, so it's more just like I've been wanting to play it for years. Now didn't really want to play it on my computer because it's more of a couch game. So playing it on my PS5 now. Once I'm done with it, I'm going to jump into 7 remake.
Oh yeah, finally.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I know. And then
that
eventually I'll take a break, play something else, and then jump into.
Then he gets
Jump into the entire Yakuza series.
I'm either going to do that or play 16.
You just got to set aside a cool 2,000 hours.
I think 16 is pretty doable.
Maybe I will do Yakuza because I'm sure I know 16 has its own battle, style, but I don't want to burn out on
Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
No, 16 is pretty unique. I think.
Is it
for Final? Yeah. Even compared to 7 remake.
How long is 16?
I don't know because I didn't
imagine really long.
But I thought
it wasn't super long.
Right. By the time I had stopped, I had been through like 2 or 3 narrative time skips, so I don't feel like I had been playing super long. So yeah, I think it's also the kind of game that if you do like it, there's like ways to extend your play time by
of course
finding more content.
I've heard side quests suck. The
world exploration in 16 wasn't great, but maybe
more about
it's
the
better.
Anyways, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
The battles were really dynamic,
which I'm hyped for because it's got that Devil May Cry developer.
It's
actual challenge, in a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, I'm
very exciting.
yeah. Is remake hard?
No,
it wasn't. No,
I mean you're playing that game for the narrative, so that's fine.
Yeah, I mean it's like if you want, you can maybe make it kind of hard.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
You can just not use items, I guess. Self-imposed challenge.
I know self-imposed challenges.
Like people who played 10 without using the spear grid, fucking psychos.
Insanity.
That dude.
I wonder if they're going to do a thing because Vincent isn't playable in the second part of the remake.
What?
He's present, but you can't play as him. Right? We talked about this many moons ago. But I wonder if Square Enix is gonna fucking release a DLC.
They said
like Dirge of Cerberus,
and it's like, all right, now you can play as Vincent.
They're definitely going to. They always lie.
They said I mean, because
like
of the
Vincent's
budget,
intergrade, I mean, but this one also kind of financially underperformed.
Yeah,
right?
and I think that is why I forget who it was, but they came out and were like, "There's no budget for a DLC,
no more."
Which is we'd like to.
It's like you got to buy another copy on PC, another copy on your Steam Deck, and another copy on your other consoles, please.
I mean, I'll be honest, putting on a console that only 10 people in the United States own probably didn't do great for their numbers.
It's like you guys need to buy more skins in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius.
Brave Exvius.
Exvius, whatever.
You guys need to get the last soldier on your mobile device.
The last soldier. Yeah.
I know. I hope Square Enix fucking
brain it in,
Just let them make the third.
Sorry, guys, we can't afford the 7 DLC because we wasted all that money on that NFT game. Whoopsie.
Oops. Anyway, sorry, Zwick. Go ahead.
Zwick, what do you always play?
Mainstays.
It's been Mullet Mad Jack, but what I always have installed, although I've been kind of taking a break on it for a while, and this is going to be the basic bitch answer, but Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
Oh, it's a great game.
It's just, it is a great game.
It's a great game.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that I will fall out of for like 2 or 3 years and then fall back in for another 2 or 3 years.
Totally.
It's always like I am sick of this game or I can't stop playing this game. There's never an in the middle with that game, but that is a thing that I always keep installed, and it's great, especially with mods. I highly recommend like stuff that like changes the look of it. That's really cool.
Right. Some photo taking mechanics, maybe. Meet and fuck Binding of Isaac mod.
My brother-in-law's a big Binding of Isaac fan.
You're playing as a baby in that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, no.
Hey, it's your mods, pal.
Dude.
All right.
Do you like deck builders? Like Slay Spire kind of deck builder?
The closest to a deck builder, and it's not a deck builder that I got into, was what's that one where it's like Eldritch Horror?
Balatro.
No, Eldritch Horror.
Darkest Dungeon.
Thank you.
Oh, Darkest Dungeon.
That's not really a deck
fun.
builder.
That's a cool game.
That
The
looks
sequel
fun.
is sadly disappointing, but like the mod support on that is also really cool. You can download some other cool characters that like make sense in the world. Like
right on.
Check out the Steam mods for Darkest Dungeon. You will have a good time.
Yeah, 2 came out last year, right?
Somewhat recent.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks hard.
That's what I remember about
I
it.
think it's easier than the first one. I think it's
the second one.
easier.
Wow, 2 looks
Which makes
first
it
one.
bad.
It oversimplified stuff. Like the characters, you don't have a range of characters you used to have. They narrowed down the scope of characters, which is fine. But like, I wish they would have done that with a game that wasn't a Darkest, because I like the personality of the different characters. And then when you like lower the roster, it feels
you're missing out on some personality.
A bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
They kind of got like a Twisted Metal type of personality where they're all kind of goofy in their own way that I enjoy.
Goofy, edgy, tormented people. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, your sweet tooth.
Your sweet tooth paladin of the Church of Ice Cream going into the
Sweet
Darkest
Tooth
Dungeon.
is not a paladin. Holy fuck.
Very good.
Whatever the opposite of a paladin is that.
What is the opposite of a paladin?
You guys ever play any Warhammer games?
No.
Oh,
I tried to play Vermintide, and it does not run on the Steam Deck at all.
Yeah, Vermintide is. I've tried playing Vermintide 2 with my brother-in-law. Technology could not handle it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think I like 40K. I think the ideas of 40K more so than just like
Me too.
the orcs and the Skaven, and
Warhammer
Warhammer 40,000
40K
or Warhammer regular. Yeah.
I like that the orcs are my favorite race because they are actually just the power of retardation to its, like, they have magical retardation where like, oh, red car means it goes fast. Like that, like they have that type of freaking logic.
Yeah. And it just like wills their belief wills it into existence. Like,
exactly.
That kind of shit. Yeah. It's wacky, certainly.
The lore is just so
crazy. Insane.
I have no idea what it is, and
It's
everyone who
so
loves
good,
it has like the same
it mostly goes
fervent
over
obsession
my head.
as like a World War II fanatic.
Like reenactments.
Funny you mention that because one of the factions is heavily based off of a certain World War II faction that not a lot of people talk about.
Actually,
All the Space Marines. I mean, doesn't one of them just like have the Iron Cross, or am I crazy?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No, you're not wrong there.
Brother.
I've played what's the when you're a bounty hunter, right? The one on like Necromunda or whatever. That one was cool.
Star Wars Outlaws.
No. No. There's the 40K version. And I mean, it's hilarious to bring it up, but it certainly explores that fantasy in a much more satisfying way. I'll say. And you get a dog, love that.
Yeah. I love that.
All right. Shall we take the
hecking
Q&A?
pupper.
so.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we have quite a few questions, and they're all for Zwick.
Yes, Zwick. Here we go. Starting off strong from beloved Goon.
Mhm.
ICP album ranking. Here we go.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to do an album ranking.
Can you do a
obviously
top
Great
three?
Lagoon.
I can do that.
Can we do it? Zwick's personal top 3 ICP albums.
This will be sent directly to Shaggy 2 Dope.
Mhm.
Okay.
And he
I'm
will
gonna
fight
say,
you.
Great Malenko, obvious number 1. Riddlebox, number 2. A lot of people sleep on Riddlebox. Recommend checking out Riddlebox. And then I'm going to go for a little niche one, Beverly Kills. That's one of their earlier titles.
Little indie darling, Beverly Kills.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Love it.
Which
Very
they're
cool.
based in Detroit. I don't know why they called it Beverly Kills, but yeah.
Because
no,
they're funny.
They are.
They're clowns.
They are
They
hilarious.
have to be funny.
They eat Monopoly shit, Connect fucking last night or one night Malenko came and gave me 3 wishes. That night I fucked 3 fat bitches. Like that's fucking
Damn.
lyrical
He's a
genius that I'm
genius.
sorry you can't understand.
Mhm.
Shakespeare
I
would
see.
weep if he was alive to see
Exactly.
this, knowing how all of his poetry amounted to
Mhm.
shit in the face of ICP.
Get out of here, Will. All right. Take the next question.
All right. Next, from Echo the Dolphin. What do you usually do after you shit yourself? Let me skip that one.
I changed my pants.
Good.
Makes sense.
Moving on.
Yeah, I always got a spare.
Can you convince the viewers to attend the
No,
Dark
choice.
Carnival?
I haven't even intended. I wouldn't. I don't know. I feel like you
was-
catch an I feel like you catch an STD walking into a dark carnival festival.
Okay, so don't go.
But in real talk, they do seem like a lot of fun. But damn, that is the bottom of the barrel white trash people. Is those people that go to
You
the
ever
dark carnival.
get clowned up, Zwick? Do you ever put the face on? Or
I never did. Surprisingly, no. I thought about doing that, putting up in kiss makeup, and then going to a gathering of the Juggalos, but I never did
That'd be
that.
funny. Gene Simmons, right? That's what you guys
Yeah.
are? It's funny.
All right. Your boss at the accounting firm wants you to collate some data, but Excel has not backed up the file. What do you do?
What the fuck kind of question is this?
That's what he wrote.
I guess
Office Space reference.
I guess Office. I don't know. Shoot up the building. I guess.
Go postal.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
happens. Yeah.
Very valid.
That kind of ties into his next question.
That's true.
What makes you rage?
What makes you a rage?
What makes
you
me a rage? I
Yeah.
haven't heard that phrase in a long time.
I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Was this some esoteric
Don't
reference
worry
again
about
from Antoids?
Um,
Every single time.
I wouldn't know. Zwick might know. I don't know.
Oh, good.
yeah. What made me rage? People saying that the Game Awards were good this year.
They
The
were.
Keeleys were good. They were not.
I
I
Shut
was
up.
there.
The
I think
Keeleys
they
suck
were
every year.
great.
Okay, well, yeah, you were there with friends.
I
right?
felt
If
Jeff
you were
Keighley's
watching-
crooked golden finger tap me on the skull, and I was enlightened.
Right.
Skull opened up.
Yeah, my
The
third eye
performances,
was pried
brain.
open.
performances were fantastic.
I mean, the music,
Sure.
they chose the wrong song for Metaphor, which frankly
You guys
pissed
are
me
making
off.
him.
Yeah.
You guys are making him angry.
I know.
Yeah,
Why don't you like?
why are you so pissed
Why
off
were they
about
so
it?
bad? Yeah,
They're
why are they
never
so
wrong
good,
with-
bad?
and
what's
they
wrong
won't
with
be
Jeff's
good, and it's
birthday?
kind of, it would break tradition if they were good at this point.
All right, this
Everyone
guy
needs
is-
to watch the Golden Joysticks. All right.
This
Watch
guy's
the
a
Golden
stuttering
Joystick Award.
Craig fan. He's
Man.
watching the real Game Awards.
Yes, that guy bringing up Gamergate 10 years after nobody cares about Gamergate.
How embarrassing. Why?
Man, you're more anti-conformist than Nick. I didn't know that was possible.
Oh, you have no fucking idea.
You know what? Even if you don't agree, it's important to be able to recognize other people's views, or at least know what they are.
Sure, right. I
Right.
also recognize that I have cringe views of my own, right? But I try to correct them as best as possible. And like, I don't try to join a thing to, make a buck by bandwagoning either.
Start liking
right?
the Game Awards.
When
Oh.
when I have a bad opinion, it's because I'm stupid. It's not like, oh, I can make a buck and shill.
Sure.
Mhm.
Making
We all
Sure.
detest grifters,
Yes.
Yes.
especially in the
That being
gaming
said,
sphere.
That being
Yeah.
said, if I can find a good grift, all right.
Yeah, you guys. Actually, I'm really upset about women in video games right now.
I think the one thing that we could all do a little bit less with. Did you see that they're making the next God of War you're playing as a fucking lady? What the hell? They're calling it Heavenly Blade. What is this shit?
On the PS3 of all systems, too. What the fuck?
Oh my god!
Man, the Kung Fu Chaos
Talk about
developers
going
are doing
backwards.
this.
All right, so the thing that makes you upset, to be clear, your wrong opinion is that people shouldn't like the Game Awards because it was good, but you won't let yourself admit it.
I watched it thinking, I was like, all right, show me. And then I was like, it's the same as last year. What the fuck is going on?
You had that black shit on your eyes. You couldn't see anything. No wonder. Of course you didn't see anything you liked.
Was it the awards?
It reeks of Doritos Mountain Dew energy.
He had to endure the humiliation. His ablutions.
The thing was, it was slightly better than last year. All right, it's not good. It was like maybe slightly better at best.
I don't want to jump on a bandwagon, but I'm also jumping on the anti-Jeff Keighley bandwagon.
I don't even hate Jeff Keighley. I think he has good intentions.
I do too.
You just said he looks like he's a Dorito.
He's a sellout. He's a piece of shit.
You said
I
hate him.
He fails.
While we were offline, you said you found his address.
No, I don't
inflammatory.
Even care. You can advertise Doritos and Mountain Dew all the live long day, but just don't have the attitude of fucking just like it's like, oh, we're cool hip gamers. Like that. It's like it sucks.
Does he have that attitude?
He doesn't have that. That was the Spike game.
People that host it have
honestly,
that attitude.
Okay.
It would make more sense to have the attitude. Like you shouldn't. Why are you acting like the Oscars? Why are you acting like you're doing something? It's because they have to. Because the tricks Neanderthals.
That's the problem with it too. No. That's the problem. They have one foot in the we need to be respected like the Oscars, and they have the other foot in the check out the graphic. Oh, hey gamers, cake is a lie. Am I right? They're trying to be hip, but also trying to be the Oscars at the same time, and it's fucking stupid.
There needs to be something. There needs to be something to tell dumb and idiots that maybe games could be something more than just, oh, I played work. I was at work too long looking at bad screen, so now I need good screen to feel better. Sometimes a game can legitimately be, a piece of art. It can be something that changes your life. Well, maybe not your life, but it can it can be a story that really affects you. Be something worthwhile that you hold on to. It doesn't just have to be, I had a bad time at work today. Boss yelled at me for pissing my pants again. Guess I got to play Halo Reach for 8 hours. Guess I got to turn my brain off and play Halo Reach Infected for 8 hours.
Yeah, and it also doesn't have to be like, I love them, but an SGDQ or AGDQ crowd and setup, Oh,
the games done quick.
Just the crowd. I mean, I do watch them every year because I really do enjoy speedrunning, but I don't do it, but I enjoy the art of it. But that crowd's not going to get taken seriously.
Yeah, the decorum
ceremony.
Giant Butt Cheek donates $20. Says, "Let's go get that goal.
Kill the animals.
Get a big hype and kill the animals."
Mm-hmm. What are you saying?
The chat, they read the donation.
Like a donation shout out,
Just have a joke.
Yeah. No, I have dementia,
you guys aren't understanding the esoteric reference.
Yeah.
Where's Q&A? There it is.
Right. Yes. The final question.
Yes. Your Ocarina of Time rando run has started you as a child in Mask Shop with Fairy Ocarina, Song of Time, Zelda's Letter, and Goron's Ruby. What is your first check? Talking about fucking AGDQ right now.
I haven't played. Majora's Mask is my favorite, but I haven't played that in 10 years at least.
Luckily, this is Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, did I say Majora's Mask?
No.
You said Mask.
You said Child in the Mask Shop.
Mask Shop.
Yeah.
It is the same NPC.
What do you check first?
I don't know. I don't know. Inventory, I guess.
That's right. You win. You did it. You beat Antoid's Riddle. The first guest to ever beat Antoid's Riddle.
That means you won't die in your sleep tonight. So
it's
congratulations.
True.
Yeah, he comes.
Where's this donation you're talking about?
What?
Sorry. Go ahead. Take us out.
Literally,
the donation?
Any AGDQ video. Go to any, just real quick. I know we're trying to end this, but go to any AGDQ video and just listen. Be like, for $80.
When they call it out. Yeah.
T-Rexosaurus says, hey guys,
Yeah.
let's save the children. This donation is going towards naming the main character Penis Wrinkle.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, guys. I don't want to interrupt the run, but we got a donation. $69 for
Yeah,
a 420 nutsack.
I didn't know what you were referencing. I get it.
No, oh, that reminds me. Isn't there a recording at a GDC convention where like a woman gets up off a seat and then some
Yes.
nerd like runs
Yes,
over and
the seat
sniffs
sniffer.
the chair?
He didn't run over. He was sitting next to her
That's-
the whole time.
That's what I'm talking about.
Lying
That
in
guy's,
wait.
that guy's
Oh.
a king.
That's the
So
kind of shit I'm
that's-
referring to. That
that's
cannot
why
be
Jeff
Game
Keighley-
Awards. I'm
yeah.
sorry. But like that,
It was
there's
just Keighley
a
sniffing the
time and
seat.
place.
That's why Jeff
It's
Keighley would go
called
up and say,
GQ.
"Guys, have some decorum, all right?"
Yeah.
That's funny.
You know what? I would love it if every year there was some guy caught in 4K sniffing a seat at the Game
That's the thing.
Awards.
Yeah, that's why they shut off the camera so fast after run-ins. Like, we can't let them know what
Yeah.
really goes on here.
Right.
You can't let
Sam
them
Lake
see us for
stands
what they
up
really
and
are.
someone dives on his chair.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, community, for those questions.
Yes, as
Thank you,
always.
viewers, listeners, for tuning in tonight and listening to the inane ramblings of Sam, Nick, Jake, and Zwick on this very fine episode of Video Ditch. We plugged Zwick last episode. Has anything changed, Zwick?
No, just go watch my videos. They're funny. Hopefully I'll record more in the future. I've just been very busy. I've been editing for a YouTube channel called Ichimoto, which is really cool. I recommend checking those guys out. They're kind of funny. They're really funny. That kind of thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the newest update for me.
Wonderful.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks again for coming on, Zwick. We'll certainly see you again in the future.
It's true. You can't escape.
Yeah, most definitely.
And for the rest of you, keep on gaming in the food.